Hello and welcome to the 7 stages of planner making. I am a planner lover. So if you are a planner lover as well and you have a dream in your heart to create one, I'm going to go through the 7 stages that I think are critical to making it come true. My planner is right here. I'm the founder of Horacio Printing. I created my company back in 2014. So for the past 10 years, I've been making planners, devotionals, journals, notepads, all things paper lover, stationery lover, paper snob. And since 2022, I have been helping other students create their paper products. And this is just a couple of some of my favorites. We have them in book bound and coil bound. We even have some disc planners as well. We have planners, devotionals, journals, hybrid workbooks. My students are making all sorts of things. So I have helped tons of people take their idea out of their head and into their hand and then actually launch it and sell it into the world. And I'm going to walk you through the 7 steps. So grab your journal and let's get started. All right, let's get started on the 7 stages of planner making. The road of an entrepreneur is ups and downs. There are many highs and lows, and I'm going to take you through really what these core 7 steps are in the staircase for you to go from an idea in your head to fully launched, people are buying it. Yay! Because that's what we want. It's not just about having the product, although that is such a fun first milestone. For me, the biggest joy that you'll get out of creating a business and serving customers and creating a paper product specifically is when other people start to use it and then they have an impact on their life. That's what keeps the dream going. A lot of people start businesses but don't keep them. You know, it's like you have a dream and then you kind of just give up on it. What makes someone last in the long run is first off that you're fulfilled through it, right? You're actually making an impact. It connects with your why. And then also it's profitable, okay? It has to be a profitable product and the product has to be amazing. If you have really great marketing, but your product at the end of the day is a trash product, it's just not good, low quality, you're not going to stick around in the long run. It's really important. Your product is key. Your marketing is key. Having that product connect to your why is really important. So let's go through the 7 stages of planner making. As I mentioned before, I started my planner company, Horacio Printing, back in 2014. For me, it was a side hustle for a year and a half until I was able to actually quit my full-time job as a ad sales rep in New York City. I was working at a really amazing ad tech company. I was a senior sales director for their advertising arm, and that was really great. But for me, I always knew there was something more. So Horacio Printing was my side gig for a minute until I was able to quit my job and do that full time. And it's so fun getting to watch other students follow in my footsteps by creating their paper product, launching it, and then seeing what other doors a physical paper product opens for them. Sometimes they're asked to speak, or they start a podcast, or now they're launching all these other products, or they have a course now. It really is cool to see what path a physical product can open for you. I know it's opened many doors for me as well. So if you are ready to get started, I would love for you to grab your notebook, grab a journal. I know you probably have one by because you're probably a paper lover like me. Write the number 1 through 7 on your sheet of paper. And let's start with number 1. And I'm really curious as you're watching this, when we get to the stage that you're at, comment below what stage you are at in your journey of building a paper product. So maybe you're at stage 1 or you're at stage 2. I'm just curious for those watching. I would love to connect with you and know where you're at. So the first stage is the spark. This is really when the dream happens. And maybe that happened for you yesterday, but maybe that's why you've Googled this and found this video. Or maybe this has been on the back burner for you for 10 years or a year. I like to call that my back burner Betty story. I personally was a back burner Betty. I had a dream to make a planner for years before I actually made one. And it took a little kick in the butt for me to do that. But I think a big piece of it is we don't know what we don't know. And there are so many missing pieces when it comes to manufacturing and creation. And there aren't a lot of people out there like me who have had a company that's been successful for over a decade and who is actually sharing how she did it and walking people through that while simultaneously running her business. So I'm here. Hopefully I can be the unicorn out there on the internet that actually shows you how to do things and not just the cheap way through print on demand and, Amazon KDP, because we don't want low quality. So the first stage is the spark. That's really when the dream happens. The dream is born. And what you need to really do in this moment, if you are in stage one, comment stage one. I'd love to know that's where you're at. But if you are in stage one, the first thing I really would ask for you to do to help you get to stage two is to create your vision statement. And if you've watched any of my other videos on YouTube on or any of my podcasts on how to get started on creating your thing, this is really the process I would take you through. It is creating your vision statement. A vision statement has 3 different parts. It has a what you want to make, get super clear on that. And even if you want to make 100 things, that's okay. A lot of people do. And some people are like, I don't know what I want to make. But even if you want to make 100 things, what's the first thing you really want to make? The second part of a vision statement is who. Who is it for? It is massively critical. Let me slow down. It is massively critical that you niche into exactly who you want to create this product for, who you are solving this problem for, and who you really want to help in the world. And it could be a broad audience. It could be women, and that's pretty broad. Or it could be super specific. Like one of my students here, Taylor, she has a product. And it's specifically for mompreneurs in real estate. Now that is very specific and it's great. She's been doing super successful. We love Taylor, so proud of her. She actually had a magazine come out with her product, which is super fun. She came into print school already having her product kind of created. Actually, I'm gonna let Taylor tell you herself.
Hi, I'm Taylor. I am a mom and wife. And when I moved to Houston and had my second kid, I realized that I needed a planner to help me balance my real estate career and my family. I needed to make a planner that would help me do both. And so I did. I made the Moms in Real Estate Planner. From this humble, beautiful little prototype, this is Taylor's version, and this is post print school. It's something that I'm just so proud of and that it's easy to sell because I'm proud of it. I love print school. Polly is so amazing. She is a wealth of knowledge. The whole time she was like a mentor. She held my hand. She answered any and every question I had. The community was so great. Her one-on-one videos are just a wealth of knowledge. I went in there like so stuck and she broke things down, gave me like a personal game plan, a roadmap for me to just get unstuck and just keep moving forward. And I'm so grateful for print school. Sign up. I can't wait to see you in the community. It's so fun. It's such a great uplifting environment. Polly truly is a gem, a wealth of knowledge, and she just doesn't gatekeep. It's amazing.
And by the way, if you want to go pick up Taylor's planner, go do it. She's amazing. Go to her website. We'll put the link below. Okay, so the vision statement is the what, the who. Remember, Taylor's is mompreneurs in real estate. What is yours? And then the third part of a vision statement is how does it help them? So it's the what, the who, and the how. For example, I'm creating a planner to help mompreneurs in real estate stay organized in life and business. Yay! Or to succeed in life and business. What are you helping them to do? It's important to get this really clear, not just, I want to make a planner and I think it's easy and I want to make money. I've heard that. People have come to me with that kind of dream, and I'll just say that sort of spark isn't hot enough, if that makes sense. Like, we need to dig deeper into who you want to help, what you want to make, and who it's for. So that's the first step, is the spark. So maybe you already have the spark, maybe you're in sparking mode right now, but that's really important. And that really leads us into stage 2. Stage 2, writing this down. So stage 1 was the spark, and really your step there is to do the vision statement. So hopefully you have your vision statement. Feel free to write your vision statement below if you want me to check it out. Stage 2 is ideation. Ideation. And this is really the step where you get everything out of your head and onto paper so that then we can design it and create it and print it and bring it to life. So ideation. The whole point of ideation is to create a prototype. That's what we want. We want a professional looking prototype that really has your vision. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be beautiful. This is what it looked like when I was kind of first creating my prototype, just sketching out. This is what that looks like. You don't really have to be an artist to create a prototype. I walk people through this in depth inside of print school because I will say this is the step that most people skip. This is the common mistake that I see in ideation. People skip really using their own brain and their own heart and their own creativity. They jump into Canva, they see all these templates, or maybe they go and buy white labeled, products from some other company. And then they have all these different files and they see all these different templates on Canva. They push everything together and it creates this Frankenstein file inside of Canva, and the fonts don't match and the layouts don't match and the design doesn't match and the monthly spread is all on one page, and people don't really like that in real life. And so it's like, it's just this Frankenstein product because you're taking an arm from this planner template and the head of this planner template, and you're building this like Frankenstein that does not look like Jacob Elordi, okay? That's what we don't want to do. We don't want to create the Frankenstein. We want to create the beautiful baby that's all connected, that's all from one source, which is honestly, the source needs to be from within you. And you don't have to be a professional designer to do this, but we really want to tap into your unique dream and back to your spark and also what you really want. Because one of the big reasons people want to make a planner is because they are particular, right? Guilty. Like, I want my planner the way I want my planner, which is exactly why I made a planner. Like, I wanted a planner with super thick paper, and back in 2014, that didn't even exist. So that's okay to be particular. That's usually what inspires a lot of people to make their company. Like, I really wanted this and the market didn't have it. Great. Improve the market by bringing what you have to the table. So it's important to sit in this space of ideation of, what do I really want? What's missing? And this is really what I take people through in print school. And we also go through the user journey, like what experience are you taking the customer through? Because if you're taking them through 50 different worksheets they have to fill out before they get to the first monthly spread, I mean, that's going to be exhausting. We don't want to do that. So if you would like to take a abbreviated version of print school and join me, I would love to walk you through this in more depth for only $17. I have a 5-day Print Your Thing challenge where I will walk you through over 5 hours of content, and we will do this together. You'll get a workbook. It'll help you with ideation. I'll put the link right here. It's at dreamprinting.co/challenge. Would love to see you in there. Would love to connect with you. You'll be able to text me while you're doing this challenge and message me and get feedback and get support. And I'll be cheering you on every step of the way. So come hang out if you really want to take this serious and make it happen. So that's the challenge. Okay, so stage 1 was spark. At the end of the spark, we have a vision statement. At the end of ideation, we have a prototype. So a prototype would have all the words that are in your product and the rough sketches, whether that's rough sketches in Canva or on paper or even in PowerPoint. There's all different ways to do it. You get to choose kind of which way you want to do it based on what you like. We're all a little different. And so at the end of stage 2, you have a prototype, and that prototype is meant to be handed off either to a designer or to yourself, and you're going to design it. So let me walk you through that. Stage 1 is spark, stage 2 is ideation, and stage 3 is design. This is where rubber meets the road. And typically people jump from spark straight to stage 3. And that's why I spent so much time talking about stage 2 of ideation. But stage 3 is design. And that's where you really open up the programs and you start really making true choices about the size of your product and where everything goes, and start putting those words in your product, and start utilizing the choices that you've made for your branding. Okay, so design. There's 2 different ways you can go through design that I find to be the most common. One is using Canva, which has its pros and cons, and the other is using InDesign. InDesign is industry standard. That's really what I would recommend. But we do have some students in print school who use Canva to get their final result. It's just there are a little more nuances. So one of the benefits if you join print school is we will give you templates for a planner, a journal, and a devotional, and then also training on how to either use Canva or InDesign. But we really, really stress the importance of doing all of that ideation so that when you get to design, you're not just using the template, you're really making it your own. You're creating brand new pages as well and adding in your unique concepts to the product. So you get to choose if you want a DIY, which we have those resources for you in print school, or if you want to hire somebody. For me, I really like to hire somebody. That is my preferred way of creating products. Right now, I have a designer finalizing my 2027 collection. I don't like spending my time on that. I probably could, but I just don't want to. I have other things to do in my business. So I like to hire out. And I would say about half of my print school students choose to hire out. And we give them a pre-vetted list of designers called our preferred partners that all students get access to. So if you want to come into print school, at some point you have to choose, are you going to design yourself and take the training, or are you going to outsource and you hire one of our preferred partners for you on your own? So that's really fun. We've had different, people do different things. Taylor, for example, she ended up designing it herself, which was great. We've had other students design themselves, and then we've had some students, hire different designers within our program to help them create the product, which has been great. And for me, I definitely hire to create my product as well. The first thing that happens in design, whether you are going the DIY route and doing self-led design, or you are hiring someone to professionally design it, is you're going to have to decide on and approve master pages of your product. A master page is one of the core spreads of your product that repeats itself throughout your product. So for example, in a planner, one of the master pages would be the monthly layout. Another page would be the weekly layout. Any unique page in your product is basically a master page. If you're doing a journal, for example, this would be a master spread. This is a core page. And honestly, in a journal, it's pretty simple because this is just repeated however many times the product is. If it's 100 pages, that you just would copy paste 100 times. So when you're working with a designer or you're doing it yourself, that's your first thing. You don't want to go ahead and build out all 100 pages. You want to build out those 12 to 24 master pages and make sure they're perfect and everything's lining up, and you go through the editing and revisions and multi-step checklist, and then you want to build out the full file, and then you export your print ready files. So that is stage 3 in a nutshell. Stage 3 is design. Once you have your print ready files, you can move on to the really exciting stage 4, which is sample printing. So fun. It is such an exciting moment when you finally get your sample in the mail, and it's just incredible. One thing that's really fun is when my students join print school, they have the option to purchase a swatch kit from one of my printers I work with. Helped me to create a swatch kit, and this has paper samples and different thickness, and then also it comes with different cover material options like different leathers and linens to help you get the ball rolling on creating your product. And so it's really fun to kind of pick out what materials you're going to go with and make your sample as beautiful as possible. I have so many student products all around my office, all down here as well. They're literally just in the corners all over the office right now. But that is the probably the first super, super exciting milestone is getting the sample in your hands. And one of the common mistakes I see with that is people thinking that, well, I just need to give them a couple pages and they'll create the whole thing. Like, you have to send everything and prepare everything for the printer. The printer doesn't have magical templates laying around when you work with a traditional printer. Now, you might work with a, print on demand company that like they'll just put your logo on a rinky-dink journal. This is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about true traditional offset printers that create luxury paper products with tabs and pockets and packaging and bookmarks and notepads and all sorts of things. With them, you have to submit every piece of design that you want created and manufactured. So you order a sample, really important. You get the sample in the mail. Woohoo! And then you approve the sample or you tell them any tweaks you want to make. That's stage 4. Next is stage 5. This is really important, and I just wanted to go through this. And stage 5, you kind of do throughout the process, but I just wanted to make it its own stage because it's critical. It's going through the numbers. How many am I going to order? Which printer do I go with? How much does it cost? What should I retail it at? Like, how am I going to get this business off the ground? What's it going to cost? That's another thing I go through in depth. If you want to take my 5-day challenge on day 3, spoiler alert, you can skip forward to day 3 if you want to, but I don't recommend it. But on day 3, I give you actual quotes from a printer. You can see different types of products because product cost depends on how much you buy and what the materials are. So, if you buy a higher quantity, you're going to get a better rate. Just like if you buy more ketchup at Costco, you're going to get a better rate, right? You buy the big box of pull-ups at Costco, it's going to be cheaper, right? Thank God for Costco. So it's the same thing with these big manufacturers. When you buy 300, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, you're going to get a better deal the more you buy. But sometimes it's hard at first to buy a ton of product. So in the challenge, I go through what I paid for my first run using a wildly expensive company, and then my second run using a much cheaper company but way higher quality, and what that looks like and what profitability looks like. So I definitely recommend, if you want to take this seriously and really look at some pricing, come take my 5-day challenge. It's going to answer a lot of questions for you. And then typically you want to retail your product at 3, 4, or even 5x whatever you paid for it. So if you pay, I'm going to do easy math here. If you pay $5 for a product, you want to be charging at least $15 to $20 to $25 for that product in the retail space. The standard is typically $4. But if you have a print-on-demand company and they're charging you $54 to get something really nice, you can't make a profit off that. You can't build a business off that. You can't have impact off that. You can't get anything off the ground. You certainly can't offer anything at a discount. And so it doesn't work. You can't do it unless you have a profitable printer. And so that's just kind of how it goes. Now, here's what's really exciting. One thing I teach my students to do, if they need to, and if they want to, I teach my students how to do a pre-order campaign that basically helps them to raise the funds they need to print their first run of products. So this is so fun. I'm actually going to show you a picture of my alumni page. You can see here down at the bottom, there are all these Kickstarter campaigns that different students have done. And you can check out this page at dreamprinting.co/alumni. And you can check out some of their campaigns. So basically, these students have all come up with a campaign. They have their sample in hand, and they're basically asking early buyers to pre-order the product. And with those funds, they're actually paying the printer to print. And they're able to order way more than what was pre-ordered. So that's a really fun way to do it. That's what I did my second year because I spent all of my profit on my wedding. And so I was like, oh no, I don't have any money to print my product. So I ended up needing to raise $10,000. We raised $20,000, and we were able to start the year already in profit, a profitable position, which was really fun. Some companies give advice like, oh, you can't be profitable till your third year. It's like, no, let's be profitable right off the bat. You know what I mean? That's kind of the way I like to roll. So that is stage 5. And if you want to go deeper into the numbers, come into the 5-day challenge. Again, the link is below. Stage 6. Let's get into stage 6. Stage 6 is launching. Yay! So launching either happens before you've ordered your mass order or after you've ordered your mass order. So if you're doing a pre-order campaign, you will do a launch and then you'll order your product. If you're going traditional, you would order your product from the manufacturer and then you would launch. So either way, launching is a big part of it. It depends which route you're taking. You get to choose your own adventure there. So with launching, it's critical to make sure that you are creating urgency. You are properly educating your customer. Remember the spark, who it's for, how it helps them. That's why that's so important at the beginning, because that's really also the spark of how you're going to market it, how you're going to position it, how you're going to educate the customer. If you're like, well, I just made this because I wanted to make money, not going to work. We really need to make sure that it's coming from an authentic place. And when you're able to really put your heart into the ideation, it's going to make talking about your product down the road even more special, authentic, and real. Like just real. You're really going to care about them because you really made it for them. Okay, so that's really important, obviously. And I teach more about how to do a pre-order campaign, how to have a successful launch in my 5-day challenge, which that's why I made it for you. It really has so much incredible content. You can check it out with the link below. So I launch on Shopify. That's where I sell my products now. We had our 2026 planner launch back in October of 2025. We are gearing up for our 2027 launch October of this year. Can't wait. I'm so excited. I am so pumped to get my samples of the 2027 planner, and I will keep you guys kind of in the loop on this channel of the progress of crafting the 2027 collection. It's so much fun getting to see ideas come to life. It's so much fun. So anyways, I will definitely keep you guys in the loop about that. And let me know what else you would like to learn about launching. If you have any big, hairy questions about that, I could create an entire video series just on launching and selling. But that's really important, right? So we either do Kickstarter or we do Shopify. Those are the two big platforms. Pre-orders typically on Kickstarter, regular orders on Shopify. And then stage 7 is legacy. This is where people actually get your product, they open it, they love it, and hopefully they come back and order more for their friends. People start to have an impact on their life from your product. That's really, I think, the most exciting part of this whole journey. Stage 7 is just the beginning of the journey. You kind of climb the staircase and then you realize there's 5 more staircases coming because I want to create something else. And now I have to create the next edition of this. And there's so many incredible ways to nurture your audience, grow your audience, empower them, support them, turn them into raving fans, because that's really what we want. If you want your business to succeed year over year over year, you really want to make sure that you are turning all of those customers into raving fans. And it starts with having a great unboxing experience, making sure you're doing great customer service, making sure they're a part of your next iteration of your product design. So those are the things that I teach inside of Print School to really help my students know all the ins and outs of not just creating their product, but selling it, nurturing their audience. And so I give them fulfillment training. I give them access to my printers. I give them customer service scripts that they can use for emails, email marketing tools, SMS marketing tools, how to build their website, how to build a Kickstarter, how to do photo shoots. Like, it has everything inside of Print School, which all those details are at dreamprinting.co. I hope that these 7 stages have been exciting for you, and I'd love to know what stage you are at, so make sure you comment below that. And if there's another topic you would love for me to talk about or a question you have that you want me to talk about when it comes to printing, luxury design, luxury printing, launching, selling, any of that, I would love to answer it. So put it below, stay in touch, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day.